Russian energy giant Gazprom said on Saturday it will suspend gas exports to Moldova from 5 o'clock GMT on January 1st due to unpaid debt by Moldova, which is bracing for severe power cuts. So Moldova should do well to pay whatsoever debt they are owing Gazprom, so that Russia will not suspend the gas exports to Moldova. Because if Russia do, it will not be funny for them. Even though they are sourcing to get more electricity from the EU now, but Russian gas will go a whole lot in making life easier for the average Moldovans. It is said the company reserved the right to take any action, including terminating the supply contract with Moldova. There were no immediate comments from officials in Moldova. The supply suspension is a precursor to a total shutdown of Russian gas exports via Ukraine and to Europe, where it flows further to Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. Once a current transit deal with Ukraine expires on December 31st, Moldova will be hit the hardest by the shutdown. So, the contract, 5 years contract that Russia signed with Ukraine to export their gas through Ukraine to Moldova, down to Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, and Italy, on the 31st of December, when this contract expires, Moldova will be hit the hardest by this shutdown. Russia supplies Moldova with about 2 billion cubic meters of gas per year through Ukraine. This is piped to the breakaway region of Transnistria, which uses the gas at a plant to generate cheap power, which it sells on to the rest of Moldova. Russia, which is critical of Moldova's west-leaning central government, has said that Moldova should pay a debt on past supplies, which according to Russian calculations stands at $709 million. Moldova has said its debt is $8.6 million. Transnistria and the government in Chisinau agreed in 2022 that all Russian gas received by Moldova will flow to the breakaway region, which traditionally does not pay for fuel. Without gas supplies, the power generating plant could stop working, and Moldova and Transnistria would face hours-long blackouts similar to those that Ukraine has learned to live with due to Russia's attacks on its energy infrastructure in their war. So, if Russia is to cut this gas, Moldova and Transnistria would face hours-long blackouts if they don't pay their debt. Moldova's population of 2.5 million has been preparing for long power cuts since Ukraine's government said it will not extend its transit contract with Gazprom. So, Moldova, this is a case study of Africans. Moldova is just 2.5 million, and Moldova is a country. And in some countries in Africa, we have a whole lot of people. We are talking about some, Nigeria for a case study is over 200 million people. And we can see there are a whole lot of countries in Europe here. Some are at 1 point, some are at 3 points, but their countries, they are doing well because they are using their natural resources very well to develop their countries, to do things, to implement policies that will help their citizens to navigate through life easily. Africans, we should learn from this. Moldova and Transnistria have both declared states of emergency over the threat of disrupted gas supplies. Moldova said on Friday it will cut power exports and introduce measures to reduce consumption by at least a third from January 1st. Moldova's president Maya Sandu has accused Gazprom of provoking an energy crisis, saying it was refusing to supply gas through an alternative route. Why should they supply gas through alternative routes if you're not paying your debt? If you feel that the money they say you are owing is not what you're owing, you are supposed to sit on a round table with them, negotiate it, and make sure that you and them reach a compromise and you pay what you're owing so you can free yourself, so that the business of you getting gas supplies from them will continue, so that your citizens will not have to suffer for it by facing long hours of power shortages.